So the Grizzlies signed Yuki Kawamura to a two-way deal, which means he will play for the Memphis Grizzlies in the NBA and the Memphis Hustle in the G League. Yuki seems to be prepared for what lies ahead, but is ASICS, the Japanese brand he's representing, ready? Stick around and let's talk. Welcome back, this is Fresh Bear. Smash the thumbs up button, share this video to your friends, follow me on Instagram, and if you're new here, subscribe to my channel for updates. That said, let's dive in. Let's backtrack. On October 16, 2024, I posted a video about Japanese athlete Yuki Kawamura's entry into the NBA and what ASICS suddenly had on its hands. Roll the clip. My overall take on this is that ASICS did not anticipate Yuki signing with an NBA team. Now, although ASICS does have a history in the NBA through Detroit Pistons legend Isaiah Thomas back in the early 90s, the brand hasn't been seen on NBA courts for a few decades. With Yuki taking a bit of the spotlight, ASICS could have another shot, but it needs to pull itself together fast. Fast. Now that's the word. Because ASICS hasn't had an NBA endorser in years. Yuki is actually the first Japanese NBA player signed with a Japanese footwear brand, so there simply is no precedent that ASICS can rely on as a business model. Yuki, however, is not the first Japanese to play in the NBA. This goes way, way back. Now, the ties that bond NBA and Japan go back in time. It was in 1947 when the Knicks drafted Wataru Misaka, the first Japanese to ever play in the NBA, which was then called the Basketball Association of America, or BAA. He was also the first person of color to do so, although he would play only 3 games before being waived. Pictured here is Wat Misaka wearing the 1947 Converse All-Star. There were several other names through the years, but if Wat Misaka was the first, the latest before Yuki Kawamura stepped in is Rui Hachimura. Rui signed with the Washington Wizards back in 2019 until 2023 before signing with the Lakers. And as you probably know by now, Rui has been a Jordan Brand athlete ever since he joined the NBA. Here's a what could have been situation. You see, Yuta Watanabe, another Japanese NBA player, initially played with the Memphis Grizzlies back in 2018 until 2020. Yuta was a Nike athlete who was under a two-way contract, which meant he would also play in the G League for the Memphis Hustle. Now, if that sounds familiar, that's because it is. Yuki Kawamura is also under a two-way contract with the Grizzlies. But here's the deal. Yuta returned to the Grizzlies on February 2024, but eventually declined his player option and decided to play in Japan. Now, it would have been another first to see Yuta Watanabe and Yuki Kawamura, two Japanese players, play in the same team at the same time in the NBA. But that's another what if, the answer to which we will never find out. There's another almost story, and that would be the story of Nike athlete Yuta Tabuse. Yuta was undrafted during the 2002 NBA draft, but he would eventually get to play for the Phoenix Suns in 2004. But after 4 games, he was waived by the team, and he would jump from one D-League team to the next. Still, Yuta would become the first Japanese to play and score in the modern-day NBA. As for Adidas endorser and former Grizzly JR Sakuragi, and Nike endorser and former Maverick and Clipper Nick Fazekas, they are not included in the list. That's because it was only after their NBA careers were over when they became naturalized Japanese citizens. Sakuragi in 2007 and Fazekas in 2018. ASICS is treading uncharted waters as no Japanese athlete has ever represented the brand in the NBA before. And as there's no guarantee that Yuki Kawamura will be able to play in the NBA for many years, ASICS has to plan things very carefully. But I think the brand should go all in because there's more to gain than anything to lose at this point. In the meantime, let me know what you think about Yuki Kawamura signing a two-way contract with the Grizzlies and how this impacts ASICS plans. Post your thoughts in the comments section, smash the thumbs up button, share this video to your friends, follow me on Instagram, and if you're new here, subscribe to my channel for updates. This is Fresh Bear, thanks for watching, peace and love to the fellow underdogs.